According to a survey by Glassdoor, 70% of men say they would rather work for a boss who respects them than one who pays them more. This says a lot about how important respect is to men, but Sigma males take this to a whole new level. Respect is not just a nice-to-have for them, it's an absolute necessity. However, respect cannot be demanded or forced upon someone. It must be earned. It is the foundation of any healthy relationship, whether personal or professional. And for Sigma men, respect is non-negotiable. While many things can earn their respect, there are also certain behaviors and actions that will guarantee they will immediately lose respect for someone. Here are 10 of them. 1. Two-faced people. There's nothing worse than someone who says one thing to your face, but then does the complete opposite behind your back. It's like they're living a double life, and you never know which version of them you're going to get. They may pretend to be your friend, but in reality, they are only looking out for their own interests. The worst part is that they'll smile to your face and act like everything is fine, while secretly plotting something behind your back. A study by the University of Pennsylvania found that 64% of employees have experienced two-faced behavior from a colleague. Imagine how exhausting and frustrating it must be to constantly have to second-guess someone's true intentions. We see this a lot in work environments, where people will act friendly and supportive to your face, but then sabotage you behind closed doors. There is no second chance with Sigma men when it comes to two-faced people. Once they discover someone's true nature, they will cut them out of their lives without hesitation. There's no room for fake people in their circle. That's why the few people they call friends are ones they trust completely. They would rather be alone than surrounded by fake individuals who only care about themselves. Even in work situations, Sigma men will keep their distance from two-faced colleagues and avoid unnecessary interactions. While it may come across as cold or distant, it's just a way for them to protect themselves from potential betrayal. 2. Those who constantly criticize but never look in the mirror. A study by the University of British Columbia found that people who are quick to criticize others tend to have a poor self-image. Nothing screams insecurity like constantly putting others down. Sigma males can't stand this behavior and will immediately lose respect for those who do it. Not only does it show a lack of self-awareness, but it also creates a toxic environment that Sigmas will try to avoid at all costs. It's easier to talk about others than to face our own flaws, but this doesn't mean it's right or respectable. Always pointing out flaws in others just indicates that the person has their own stuff to deal with. But when we start attacking what we don't understand, it's like heading down a path of division instead of unity. And that's not what Sigma men are about. Even though they are introverted and independent, they value harmony and peace among people. Constant criticism fosters hate, and Sigma wants nothing to do with it. 3. The one-uppers. No matter what you accomplish or achieve, there will always be someone who will try to one-up you. These are the type of people who can't let others have their moment to shine and will always find a way to outdo them. They have to be the best at everything and will go as far as lying or exaggerating to make themselves look better. They're the type to interrupt someone's story just so they can tell their own, more impressive version. While this may be entertaining to some, it's just plain annoying for Sigma men. They can't stand people who try to make themselves look superior at the expense of others. This game of one-upmanship is a never-ending cycle, playing into one's insecurities and need for validation. One-uppers also tend to be insincere and only care about their own image and ego, which goes against the genuine and authentic nature of Sigma men. It's a waste of time and energy to try to compete with these people, as they will always find a way to top you, even if it means lying or manipulating the truth. It's just for their own selfish gratification and adds no real value or meaning to anyone's life. Sigma males don't give a damn about these fake displays of superiority and will simply walk away from any competition or comparison, let alone respect them. 4. The narcissists. Narcissism is a personality disorder characterized by an exaggerated sense of self-importance, need for admiration, and lack of empathy toward others. These individuals believe they are superior to everyone else and will do anything to maintain their image and status. They have no qualms about using people to get what they want or stepping on others to climb the social ladder. Imagine a narcissist and their inflated ego being in the same room as a Sigma male and their independent and non-conformist attitude. It's like mixing oil and water. They just don't mix well. Sigma men have no patience for narcissists and their constant need for validation and attention. They see through the facade and understand that it's just a mask to cover up deep insecurities and fears. Narcissists are like a threat to Sigma men's individuality and freedom, as they will try to control and manipulate them to fit their own agenda. It's like trying to put a wild animal in a cage. It's against their nature and will do whatever it takes to break free. While Sigma men may be able to see the good in most people, narcissists are an exception. They understand that no matter how much effort they put into a relationship with a narcissist, it will never be reciprocated. That's why they can't respect or tolerate these individuals. 5. Those who persistently stir up irritation. Have you ever had that one friend or coworker who seems to be on a never-ending quest to stir up irritation? Whether it's through nagging, complaining, or provoking arguments, they always seem to find a way to get under your skin. While it's easy to brush off occasional annoyances, there comes a point when persistent irritation can erode even the strongest bonds of respect. Think about it. Respect is like a precious currency we exchange in our social interactions. It's the glue that holds relationships together, whether in friendships, family, or the workplace. When someone persistently stirs up irritation, it's like they're constantly making withdrawals from the respect bank without ever depositing anything back. Eventually, the account will run dry and Sigma males won't hesitate to cut ties with someone who constantly drains them. While they are patient and understanding, they also value their mental and emotional well-being and won't tolerate being constantly annoyed or provoked. 6. Those who pretend to listen. It can be disappointing when someone you've been talking to appears to be listening intently, but after you've finished speaking, it's clear they weren't paying attention the whole time. We have all had that experience of feeling unheard and overlooked. Even worse, some people pretend to listen so they can interject their opinions and steer the conversation in a direction that benefits them. While this may work on some people, Sigma men are not easily fooled. They can pick up on insincerity and will immediately lose respect for someone who pretends to listen. If someone isn't willing to give them that basic level of respect, then they don't see the point in engaging with them at all. Nothing is more disrespectful than pretending to care when you clearly don't. You know what they say, actions speak louder than words. 7. Those who can never be wrong. We all know that person who never admits they're wrong, even when it's blatantly obvious. They will argue and debate their point until everyone is exhausted rather than just admitting they made a mistake. They would even blame others or make excuses instead of owning up to their own faults. It's like they have an ego that's too big to handle any kind of criticism. This can be seen in those alpha males who believe apologizing or admitting fault is a sign of weakness. They see it as a competition and will do anything to come out on top, even if it means not acknowledging their own mistakes. This won't make them appear strong or admirable to Sigmas. It will just make them look like a desperate child who knows they're wrong but refuses to admit it. While being confident is admirable, thinking you're never wrong is just plain delusional. Even if Sigma men may have respected this person before, their lack of accountability and responsibility will make them lose all respect. No one wants to be around someone who can never own up to their mistakes or take responsibility for their actions. It's like trying to have a conversation with a brick wall. Pointless and frustrating. There's a saying that goes, pride comes before the fall, and Sigma men will not hesitate to distance themselves from anyone who acts with such arrogance and ego. 8. The energy vampires. While not a literal term, an energy vampire is someone who constantly drains others' energy and positivity with their own negativity. They're people who always have something to complain about or bring others down with their pessimistic outlook on life. They can be exhausting to be around because they never seem to have anything positive or uplifting to contribute. No matter what you do for them, they never seem to be satisfied with anything. They have a way of sucking the energy out of a room and making everyone feel drained. The energy vampires are like a dark cloud for Sigma men. Not because they're not empathetic or compassionate, but because they understand the impact someone's energy can have. They value their peace and positivity, and anyone who tries to mess with that won't be welcome in their lives. While it's impossible to avoid all negativity in life, having someone who constantly brings it into your life intentionally is a whole different story. It's like trying to swim with a rock tied around your ankle. It's impossible and only pulls you down. You know that saying, "You are the company you keep." Well, Sigma men take that seriously. 9. Those who take credit for others' work. While there's nothing wrong with celebrating your accomplishments, there is something very wrong with taking credit for someone else's. Sigma men value hard work and integrity, and nothing undermines those values like stealing someone else's success. Not only does it show a lack of respect for the person who actually did the work, but it also shows a lack of character and honesty on the part of the credit taker. While some may be willing to overlook this behavior, Sigma males will not. They believe in giving credit where credit is due and won't stand for anyone taking advantage of others like that. It's like you're trying to cheat your way through life, and Sigma men do not tolerate cheaters. Any respect that may have existed before will immediately disappear once they discover someone taking credit for others' hard work. This is one of the most frustrating things that can happen in a workplace or any environment. Someone taking credit for work they didn't do. It's so disappointing to see hard-working individuals have their accomplishments taken away by those just trying to further their own agendas. This is usually done by those in power as they feel threatened by the success of others. Many people simply don't dare to speak up about it because they don't want to risk losing their job or getting on the bad side of their superiors. 10. Those who talk over others. While no one likes to be interrupted when speaking, it's really annoying when someone talks over others without even letting them finish their thoughts. They don't seem to care about what anyone else has to say and believe their voice is the only one that matters. The worst part is when they constantly talk over people and don't even acknowledge it. It's as if they don't even realize they're doing it. While this may be a common behavior in some social circles, Sigma men don't have the patience for it. No one likes to be ignored or feel like their thoughts and opinions don't matter. Talking over others makes them feel invisible and unimportant, like they don't even exist. Sigma males don't want to waste their time with someone who doesn't value their input or thinks they know better than everyone else. This will immediately lead to a loss of respect and make Sigmas want to avoid any future interactions with that person.